Today we're going to learn to subtract integers. Before we do that, we're going to do a quick review of what it means to add integers. Remember, integers are numbers that don't have fractions or decimals on them. They can be positive, they can be negative, or they can be zero, but they have to be whole numbers. They can't include fractions or decimals. When we add integers, and you are going to need your notes to go along with these, so you're going to turn to the top of the page that says subtracting integers on it. When we add integers, if you have two positives or two negatives, you add their absolute values together and you keep their sign. If you have different signs, then you're going to subtract their values and take the sign of the one that's farthest from zero. So if your signs are different, you're going to subtract the values, take the sign of the number with the bigger absolute value. So when you look at each group, are there more in the positive group or more in the negative group? When we're working with adding or subtracting integers, we're going to follow one rule. Basically, we're going to change each one of our questions into an addition question. So we have those same rules that we have to follow. If the signs are alike, we add. If the signs are different, then we're going to subtract. So if I have 2 minus 9, what we're going to do is we are going to take our 2, we're going to keep it, we're going to either add the opposite, or some of you may have learned in the past, you're going to keep the first number the same, so we're going to keep that 2. We're going to change from a subtraction to an addition. Now we can't just change one thing, we have to change 2, because this is really a positive 2 minus a positive 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it to a positive 2 plus a negative 9. And on your paper, I actually want to see you change each one of these subtractions to a plus and change the sign of your next one. So we're going to keep the first number, change from subtraction to addition, and switch the sign of the second number. And we're going to follow the same rules we used for addition. So 2, positive 2 plus negative 9, our signs are different, so we're going to subtract them. So that would give us negative 7. For our next one, we're going to keep our negative 5, we're going to change to addition, and we're going to switch our sign. So now we have an addition question, and we're adding two negatives together. So negative 5 plus a negative 6 gives us a negative 11. And you should be doing these on your notes or right along with me. You should actually be changing to a plus negative. Alright, we have a negative 1 minus 9. So we're going to keep the negative 1, we're going to change to addition, and then we're going to switch our sign. So negative 1 plus negative 9, our signs are alike, so we're going to add them together, and we're going to keep the negative sign. So negative 1 minus 9 is really negative 1 plus negative 9, which gives us negative 10. Alright, we have positive 5 minus a negative 4. We keep the 5, change to addition, and switch our sign. It was a negative, so we're going to switch it to a positive. So 5 minus negative 9 is really, 5 minus negative 4 is really 5 plus 4. So that gives us 9. So subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. So subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. The minus and the minus, I always kind of think of it as a minus and a minus go together to make a plus. A minus and negative makes a plus. So I have negative 7 minus negative 2. So I'm going to keep the negative 7, change to addition, and switch my sign. I always have to change two things. Keep, change, switch. So now I have a negative 7 plus a positive 2. So I have one negative, one positive. So instead of adding them, I subtract them. So 7 minus 2 makes 5. And it's going to be a negative because there's more in the negative group than in the positive group. Alright, here are a few practice problems for you to try. So on your paper as you're doing them, keep the first number, change to plus, switch your signs. So -5 plus -4. And you should get -9. Right, -2 minus 9. We're going to keep, change, switch. So negative and a negative, add them together, gives us -11. And the third one, +6, I keep, change to addition, switch my sign. So 6 plus -4, signs are different, so we're going to subtract them. That gives us a -8. And -7 minus a -4. Keep, change, switch. So I have -7 plus +4. Signs are different, so we subtract them, and there's more in the negative than in the positive. Last two, 3 minus -19. Keep, change to addition, switch signs. And on your paper, take the time to actually switch these. So what I'm really adding is two positives, so 3 plus 19 makes 22. And our last one, -3, keep, change to addition, and switch my sign from a -9 to a +9. So I have different signs, so I subtract the values, and my answer ends up being +6. So what you need to do is you need to go back into Angel. There should be a link in there for you to do some practice problems. I would actually, on each one, write the problem down, keep, change, switch. And when you're ready, go on in and then do the assessment.